Sonic the Hedgehog 3. At the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it was revealed that there was going to be a character. Now, I thought maybe they were going to pick like Metal Sonic or something, right? But they're going straight to Sonic Adventure 2. Shadow the Hedgehog was, of course, the character revealed. Metal Sonic was what I wanted, but Shadow was what I predicted because what's going to make money? Shadow is as popular, if not even popular, even more popular than Sonic, right? So it makes sense from a sales point, a marketing point, that Shadow. And I wouldn't be surprised that when trailers come out, like, Shadow's going to be everywhere. It is what it is, right? Shadow's going to be everywhere because advertisement, man, money, 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 money. Marketing, like, Shadow sells, you know? And sometimes he sells more than Sonic. He does well for Sega and such, so he's a popular character. I get it. I totally get it. At the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, for those of you, of course, who know, I assume if you're watching this, you know, because spoilers and all that. After Gun, which was revealed in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, so I mean, already, before Shadow was even confirmed, Gun was in the movie. So it was kind of like, oh, okay. So there's you know, definitely implication that, hey, this could totally go SA2. They were trying to look for Eggman. He disappeared because, again, not really. I suppose they're not really sure what they're going to do with him, depending on whether Jim reprises his role as Dr. Robotnik / Eggman. And they said what they did discover was a 50-year-old project. And the Gun Commander, again, confirmed. He wasn't in Sonic Adventure 2, I don't think, but he was in Shadow the Hedgehog. And he was obsessed with Shadow. He wanted him gone, right? Blames him for Maria's death. You're the reason why Maria's dead. Like, apparently Maria was like a sister to him. And apparently he saw Shadow being created. And I guess because Black Doom was there, and it was like, oh, an alien is like, they've created a monster, right? Not exactly the case. Although Shadow, I probably suppose, could be a monster, right? The Gun Commander didn't have a very good reaction. He's fully aware of the 50-year-old project. So I'm gonna say, yeah, he's aware of Shadow 100%. And yeah, they of course ended with Shadow in a capsule, like in Sonic Adventure 2, and it's being sort of raised up, and he wakes up. Now, the question is that going to be how it is? Like, is he just going to wake up and then, like, escape? That I'm not sure. But here's my initial prediction. I think, for the most part, Shadow is going to do the same as, more or less, SA2. Again, the movie is going to kind of do their own thing, but they also want to, you know, cater to fans. So there's going to be more game references, and this is probably going to be more towards the game, right? But there's definitely going to be their own sort of flair and whatever they plan to do. I think what's going to happen, because Gun's obviously discovered Shadow, I do think the Gun Commander is going to have this whole like vendetta revenge thing where he like kind of wants to take out Shadow, but instead they've locked Shadow up somewhere potentially, and they're trying to experiment on him. That's what I think. I think they're potentially maybe trying to experiment / control Shadow, right? Because they're afraid of him coming out and causing like destruction or whatever. I can see like Gun Commander being like, he's dangerous, and you know, I kind of just want to get rid of him really, but you know, we need to contain him, and yeah, we can't let him escape. Like, you know, it'll be the end for all of us if he does and all that. I think Shadow is going to escape at some point. Potentially he's either going to get a hold of the Chaos Emerald, right, and maybe escape, or he's just going to escape himself. Or, right, if Eggman's in the movie, he's going to break him up, just like he did in SA2. But ultimately, Shadow will escape after he's been experimented by, like, gun scientists or something. That's what I think is going to happen. And then he's going to go on the hunt for the Chaos Emeralds. Of course, we're going to get Chaos Control. Will they do the whole, like, hey, everyone thinks that Shadow is Sonic, right? I do. At least, if anything, I think as a joke. I think as a little joke, I could totally see that happening. I think Shadow's going to appear on TV, and everyone's going to be like, it seems it's Sonic the Hedgehog, that strange creature that appeared on our planet. And I could see, like, Sonic watching the TV. I could see, like, Tom and Maddie both watching the TV. And I could totally, all of them being like, he looks nothing like Sonic. He's not even blue. Or something like that. I can see them making a little joke. Definitely see that happening. Yes, we're gonna have the whole Faker thing with Shadow because, again, references and catering to the fans, and people are gonna geek out. They're gonna recreate Shadow and Sonic on the title screen of SA2. You know, they recreated it in Sonic Generations, right, in the boss fight. I think Shadow's gonna think Maria died because of Gun, right? I do think that's more or less gonna be the same. I don't think it's going to be what he thinks it is. I think this entire time, Shadow's going to be like, the humans need to pay. We know how it is, right? And he's definitely going to say damn in the movie. No, I don't think they're going to shoot a little girl on screen. Although, in the games, it's off screen. It's not going to happen. I do think that at some point, Shadow's going to question who Sonic actually is. And I do think he even make a slight reference, not confirmation, because I'm pretty sure this has never been confirmed, but it's always implied that Shadow was based off of the ultimate life form. And you think, well, what? Shadow's the ultimate life form. The implication is that the reason why Shadow kind of looks like Sonic, or should I say, looks like Super Sonic, is because he was modeled off of Super Sonic via hieroglyphs that we believe that Gerald probably saw. I guess it harps back to Super Sonic versus Eggman in Hidden Battle Zone, or maybe it was some other hieroglyph. I don't know if there might, for all I know, there might even be a Super Sonic hieroglyph of him fighting Perfect Chaos. In Adventure, we saw Perfect Chaos. Sonic sees it, he's like, what is this? And then you see it, Perfect Chaos. But we don't see no Super Sonic. But it's always implied that that's why, and clearly he did study like the Echidna and the Chaos Emeralds and all that, because he literally has artificial chaos, right? In Adventure 2, there's artificial chaos enemies everywhere. And he has a Master Emerald shrine with podiums for the Chaos Emeralds. And I mean, the Eclipse Cannon literally has emerald slots. He might have even had the Chaos Emeralds at some point. And he knew that, I guess, for Shadow to kind of be powered up / his full potential, that he needs a Chaos Emerald, right, to use Chaos Control. Shadow will be like that. Obviously, Shadow is gonna fight against Sonic, race against Sonic. I think Shadow's going to win first. They will encounter again, and Sonic will get the upper hand, but it won't get concluded. And the final one, they will race, and that also technically won't be concluded, because they have to team up against the big bad boss. Now, I don't know what the big bad boss is going to be. That's how I think it's going to go, mainly for Shadow. Do I think he's going to die at the end of the movie, like in Sonic, like in SA2, and then say that he didn't die? I can see them definitely like making it seem like he's gone, but they won't kill him off. I can definitely see like maybe a Heroes in the future, maybe. They said they're not going to do the games in order, so we don't really know. But no, Shadow's too popular. They're either gonna do like what they did with Sonic Adventure 2, where they're just gonna make it be like, oh, he's gone, but fans are gonna know he's not. Maybe they'll even, have a little sneak thing of, hey, look, Eggman's found Shadow and he's got him in a capsule or whatever. I don't know. Or they'll handle it differently. Maybe even Super Sonic will save Shadow, right, the last minute or something, right? Maybe Super Sonic will have enough power to rescue Shadow. Maybe he'll be unconscious or something, right? And it's like he won't wake up, and then like maybe Eggman's like, leave him with me or whatever. I'll work on him or something. I don't know. So let's talk about characters we don't know that are going to be in the movie, but I think they will be. I'm going to confirm right now, straight up. You can come back to this video. Rouge and Amy are going to be in this movie. You need Rouge to be in the movie. Alright, she's an integral part of SA2. Right, she'll work well with Shadow and Eggman and Knuckles. Amy needs to be in because regardless how you feel about Amy, every hero needs like that potential girl love interest, right? And we're aware of her, and I think Amy is fairly popular. A lot of people want Amy to be in the movie, right? And we know that there are fans of Sonic the Hedgehog working on these movies, so Amy's going to be in the movie, 100% confirmed. I'm saying it right now, confirmed. But yeah, my prediction is Amy and Rouge is going to be in the movie. So I'll go Rouge first because I've got on the list. I'll go Rouge first. So now the question is, how is she going to get introduced, right? Because naturally there's Sonic's World, and people have been coming from Sonic's World into the human world via the ring portals, right? It seems like a lot of people just have them, right? Tails had one, found his way to this world. I don't know if it was specifically that Knuckles had a ring portal, but the tribes people that he was with, I'm pretty sure they were the ones who opened it. So either they had one or they stole it from Knuckles, and then yeah, that happened. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the whole weird tribes fake thing. Is two ideas I've got. One, they're kind of gonna do the similar thing with Tails, where it's like she's heard about this planet that has, these crazy amounts of treasure. You've also heard about potentially maybe even the emeralds in Sonic's world or whatever, right? Maybe she even heard about the Master Emerald, right? Which would lead to her going after Knuckles. She's like, oh, I heard about a jewel. I'm going to go to Knuckles. I mean, you could say, well, how would she know this? But she's like a spy, right? It's very possible. Heck, what I actually think is going to happen is that because she's going to work for Gun. Maybe the president will be there, maybe not, and they'll be like, oh, she's got a spy on the president. But I think Gun are going to be like, we need like someone to help us kind of deal with this threat. We need to know what's going on. We need to know what Sonic and Go are planning. We need to know what Shadow the Hedgehog's planning, because we don't know. He's just collecting it. Like, what's he going to do? We need like one of these creatures on our side. And that's where Rouge comes in. It's like, she's like, oh yeah, I'm an expert spy. And I can see them being like, we'll promise you like a bunch of jewels, or like, we'll promise you a Chaos Emerald. Because I think Gun's going to have at least one Chaos Emerald, maybe two. And Shadow's going to steal it from them. I do 100% it's going to happen. Partly think Eggman, if he's alive, if he's going to be in the movie, is going to have a Chaos Emerald. I think Tails is going to have a Chaos Emerald as well. I'm not sure about anyone else. I could see one of the humans, maybe Maddie or Tom, discovering one of the Chaos Emeralds, potentially. I could totally see that. But this is what I think was going to happen. I think Gunnar, like, we need to know more, perhaps, about Sonic and Shadow. We need to get more information. Maybe if we can go to Sonic's world somehow. Maybe they discovered one of Sonic's portal rings. Because in the second movie, he loses his rings, and I say it could just be like a reference to Sonic losing his rings when he gets hit, right, in video games. But it could also be a deeper meaning where, like, either Eggman might have swiped the rings, and Baby Gun among the wreckage of the Death Egg might have been like, oh, we found these rings. We'll either way, they're gonna get hold of at least one portal ring, I think, and they're gonna try and get information on Sonic's planet, and I think that will lead. I think like they'll maybe send some troops in, maybe even have like some machines, right, go in, and because I think this is when they're gonna start creating like kind of like machines from like SA2, right? I think that's where they're gonna go, and they're gonna be scouring around, and that essentially gonna like bump into Rouge, right? And they're gonna cut a deal with her and be like, look, we need you to help us figure out what the hell is going on, and what like Dr. Eggman and Shadow is planning or whatever. She agrees, and I think that's how she's going to come into play. They are going to tone her down. They're going to make it work, right? It's sort of like, think Tifa in Final Fantasy VII Remake, where everyone was crying their eyes out because they thought her boobs had shrunk. Whereas, no, her boobs hadn't shrunk, right? And they shoot like polygonal boobs like fucking Lara Croft. I think they're gonna find a way to potentially, I think, tone her down, but you like people who will know will be like, you can kind of still tell she's probably a little bit stacked, but it's gonna be PG enough that it's like, you know, it's fine, right? I think they're gonna try and get that balance. I think Tyson Hesse is gonna do us justice. I really do. He's gonna bring us Rouge, and it's gonna be a riot. It's gonna be a riot. I do think it's gonna happen. Now, I briefly talked about this in Video Game Stupid stream, but I actually think that she's going to be paired with one of like Gun's agents. And I think one of those Gun's agents is going to be a reference to Sonic X Commander, which I can't remember if it was specifically with Gun. I think she just like worked for the police or SWAT or whatever, right? But she ended up being teamed up with a woman named Topaz, and you know, the joke is in the name. She's literally called a jewel, right? And Rouge likes jewels. That's kind of the joke. Yeah, she's gonna get paired up with a woman, and it's gonna be a reference to Sonic X. I don't know if they'll call her Topaz, but if they don't, they're either gonna give her the nickname Topaz, and that's not actually her name, or they're gonna like, it's gonna be like a reference to Topaz, right? I could even see like Rouge like looking up in a newspaper or something, or finding information about like a literal topaz, like, you know what I mean, a jewel topaz, and that could just be like your reference to the character Topaz, right? Yeah, I do think she's going to get paired up with another human. I think Gun's going to be like, I don't trust Sonic, I don't trust Shadow, I don't trust Rouge, but we don't really have a choice, right? Maybe even the president steps in and is like, look, you know, let's just work with her and see how it goes, all right? So let's see what she can do. I do think they're going to have tabs on her, so like if she does do anything, right, then they can sort her out, sort of thing, which again was kind of like Sonic X initially, where they were like, we don't trust you, until she proved that she was trustworthy-ish, right? Where they were like, okay, we'll take her, we'll stop like monitoring her all the time and all that, right? So I do think she's gonna get paired with a female human, and yeah, there's gonna be a moment where like either Rouge gets hurt or the human gets hurt, and Rouge comes in to save her, and she's like, oh, why did you save me? And she's like, oh, I'm not all that bad, you know, or whatever. And yeah, I do think there's gonna be a dynamic between the two. I think so anyway. Yes, I do think she's gonna discover Knuckles guarding the Master Emerald, and yeah, she's gonna try and take it, and I think she's gonna try and steal it and scuffle with Knuckles, and it's gonna break. I don't think Knuckles is gonna like punch it and break it like he did in Adventure 2. I don't think Eggman's gonna come and steal it. I don't think so. Even though he was initially, you know, all about the ultimate power, I don't think so. He's gonna discover about the Chaos Emeralds, and he's gonna become more interested in like the emeralds and learn about his grandfather's, like, you know, old previous works. So he's going to be intrigued to do the ultimate life form, and he's probably going to mention like, oh, the ultimate life form, is this similar to the ultimate power, right? And then he's going to put two and two together and realize that, oh, right, I see. Knuckles the entire time is going to be awkward with her but not like her, and you know, she's going to tease him a lot. And yeah, there's going to be, again, there's going to be a good moment, maybe very similar to Adventure 2. You know, Knuckles like helps her out or whatever, and she's like, oh, you're not so bad, sort of thing. He restores the Master Emerald, and that's kind of be going to be her thing. And yeah, she's going to get closer to Shadow, and she's going to learn more. She's going to find out, I think, about like the prototype of the ultimate life form. I think the Biolizard will get referenced, but I don't think we'll get the Biolizard. But I could definitely see like either like a little screenshot or like a file saying Biolizard somewhere on screen. I do think that is definitely possible. And that's mainly where I think they're going to go Rooster Bat. So I think they're going to have a combination of like Sonic X and SA2, which, I mean, Sonic X did do SA2 and SA1, right? All right, Amy, So here's what I think, because again, it's like, how are these characters going to come into the real world, right? Are they? You can't just say all these creatures know about Earth and they can all just, oh, we're just going to go to Earth for whatever reason, right? But Tails is somewhat believable. Super genius, right? Super genius. Sonic's power out in the first movie reached him in their world, which is kind of just crazy when you think about like how powerful, like the implication of how powerful this movie Sonic could be. The fact that his quills have such power, right? I mean, look at Eggman. Like, he had one quill and he created a blooming signal that came out of the planet. Like, what was that all about? I was like, what? Like, how? Like, this energy power thing from Sonic. I mean, he's not even using a Chaos Emerald. What is going on there? It's kind of wild. And Knuckles kind of has his own similar thing as well, which is like, I thought it was a visual, but you can't call that just a visual effect because Sonic doesn't have like powered quills that can like power things, right? We weren't even using the Chaos Emerald. It's just using that, like, I don't think we're ever going to get some explanation about the energy stuff. I think it's just going to be like, it's just Sonic's thing, right? Just kind of like, hey, you can just run because you just can, right? Or whatever. At least with the Echidnas, it's like they're just known to be strong, right? They're a warrior race. They're known to be powerful. So with Knuckles, that's quite believable, right? With Amy, though, how is she going to know about Sonic? Because, yes, she's going to want to come to the real world because of Sonic. But how is she going to meet Sonic? So this is what I think is going to happen. I think Sonic's going to go around adventuring, right? I think he's going to be traveling around the real world, but also his world, potentially other places around the world, other areas. And I think that Amy's going to be in danger from something, I don't know what, but she's going to be in danger. Sonic's going to save her. He's going to carry her. He's going to save her. You know, he's going to be like, it's like, are you okay? And then he like does a cheeky wink, and then he rushes off and probably heads back to Earth, right? She's again going to be starstruck and be like, who is this guy? I want to know more about him. And maybe even potentially see him leave in the portal ring and see that he's going to Earth. Maybe she even hops in before it closes or something. She's like, I'm gonna follow him right away. Maybe she has her own portal ring or discovers her own portal ring, and you know, she might remember what she saw about where he went, and you know, that's where she goes. But ultimately, I think what's gonna happen, I think he's gonna go back and forth, and I think wherever he goes to save her is gonna be a reference to Sonic CD. Maybe an area that kind of looks like, I don't know, Palm Tree Panic or something from Little Planet. I think there's going to be potentially, I could totally see even like some like flowers or something from Sonic CD, right, to kind of reference it, you know, the level being like that. I can definitely see that happening. We're going to get a brief Sonic CD reference there, and he's going to be rescuing her, and then yeah, she's going to want to come to his world obviously and be like, oh, you know, I'm going to find him, he's my hero and my love and all this and that. And what's going to happen is she's going to come to the real world, but she's not going to stumble upon Sonic. She's going to stumble upon Shadow, and yes, there's going to be the whole, that's him, that's the hedgehog that saved me, and then, you know, realize that's not the case. So I think that's where that's going to go. I think, again, she is going to be like kind of like the damsel. I can definitely see like Eggman, if he's in the movie, capturing her, sort of thing, similar to SA2. But I think at some point, kind of similar to Tails, Amy's going to find her confidence, right? And she's going to get a hammer and she's going to hit Eggman over the head at one point. She's going to just like knock him out. We're going to get Amy get angry with her hammer, and she's going to find her confidence. And yeah, I do think she's going to like try and talk to Shadow, right? What I think where it's going to go is that Eggman's going to have Amy captured. Shadow's going to be about, and they're going to be talking about their plans and all that. And I think Amy the entire time is going to be thinking, how do I get out of this? How do I stop whatever they're doing from happening? She's going to be learning their plans, and she's going to try and talk to Shadow and be like, hey, you know, you don't have to do this. And, you know, Shadow's going to be like, oh, shut up, you don't know what I'm going, you know, he's hell-bent on revenge, you don't understand all this and that, I'm not going to tell you anything, whatever. And, you know, she's going to say something, she's going to reach out to Shadow, And you know, Shadow's always going to be like, remind us of Maria, and he's going to start second guessing his decisions, right? Ultimately, I think that will lead Amy. I think Amy will lead Shadow to change his mind about like taking out the planet or the Earth or whatever. He's. I think at one point there's going to be a moment where Shadow's going to be like, okay, I'm not going to do it. Also, when he discovers that Gunn technically wasn't the reason why Maria died. And then I think Eggman's going to be like, well, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. And he's going to try and activate the Eclipse Cannon. And that's when it doesn't work. Just like Adventure 2, it doesn't work. So ultimately, what I think they're going to do with Amy. So let's move on to Sonic. The end of Sonic Movie 2. Knuckles restored the Master Emerald, which is really cool. I like that. He was asking Sonic, because Knuckles not the Guardian right now. So what do we do? What do we do with this? And Sonic's like, well, we create our own new pact, and all three of us will protect the Master Emerald. That's not gonna happen. I think Sonic's gonna like try to like chill and like watch the Master Emerald, and I could totally see like Tom being like, hey, this will give you some responsibility, you know, like, hey, you're not looking after like a child or anything, but you're looking after something important. This will be good training for a hero, right? A hero does many things, and Sonic's gonna be like, a hero does adventuring and stuff. Like, you know, like, I want to go on adventures and stuff. You know, I want to find challenges, and you know what I mean. Meet new enemies. I want to do things, and I can totally see like Sonic just being like laying there, kind of like what he does in Adventure 2. He's got his like hands behind his back, you know, legs up and all that. He's gonna be chilling, but at some point he's gonna find a way or find an excuse to leave, and he's gonna go off exploring and adventuring and stuff. I could totally see like Knuckles like sort of having to go at him, being like, look, this was our job, blah, 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 blah. And then at some point, like when Knuckles is not paying attention, Sonic's just gonna dash off, and then Knuckles is gonna realize he's gone, and he's gonna have a go at him for it and be like, you know, where you go. Sonic's gonna go off. Knuckles is ultimately gonna be the Guardian. Sonic will eventually get essentially kind of attacked or jumped by Gun, and I do think we're gonna get the escape from the city moment where he jumps off a helicopter, and I do think there's gonna be a gun truck and they're gonna chase him down. And yeah, even though right, Gun commanders should know the difference between Sonic and Shadow, I still believe that, you know, Gun's on the idea of I don't trust Sonic, right? Because technically the only reason why he let them go in the second movie, because they were like, look, he's probably the only one who can stop Eggman. You know how dangerous he was in the first movie, and they're like, fine, right? So I always saw it as he doesn't trust Sonic or like him. He's not prepared, right? He's not prepared, or at least he wasn't prepared to take on, you know, Eggman with ultimate power, and wasn't like he wasn't prepared to stop him. So he's like, okay, I'll let them go. So I could totally see like them like trying to apprehend Sonic, and he will get arrested like in Adventure 2. I could totally see like some people working for Gun actually straight up thinks that, you know, Shadow is Sonic, right? Well, Sonic is Shadow, sorry, I should say, and make the mistake. But either way, Gun's gonna be like, well, like, I was planning on capturing him anyway, so, you know, get rid of him, get rid of Shadow, whatever. Sonic's going to discover the writing on the wall, which is going to be Gerald Robotnik, and he's going to learn a little bit about, like, perhaps potentially Gerald's plans, or him talking about Maria. Tails is going to break him out of prison. I don't think Amy's going to be there. I think Tails is just going to straight up break him out of prison. Of course, he's going to race Shadow. Let's say going to encounter him 3 times. I think it's going to play out very similarly. Very similarly. Similarly? I can't English. With I think hints of potential heroes and Shadow. More Shadow more than anything. Yeah, as I mentioned, he's going to be exploring his world, or various Sonic's world, and that's when he's going to bump into Amy and save her. Because I think he's definitely going to go back and forth. He might even go to find more rings. Making the joke about how he collects rings in video games, right? And I could totally see like him being clumsy and dropping a ring, and someone uses it, and it's either going to be Amy or it's going to be like Rouge or something. I can totally see that happen. And I can also see, not only that, like he drops the ring and it bounces like it does in the video games, right? But it bounces so hard that it opens the portal, and because Sonic literally just opened up a portal, say, to Earth, the ring that bounced off of him remembered like the coordinates of whatever he was wanting to go through, and that opened up another portal to Earth. And like I say, someone like Amy or Rouge will jump into it. So yeah, Sonic's gonna make that mistake and he's gonna bring someone to Earth by doing so. That's what I think. I don't think Amy's gonna be super annoying, just to kind of add to her. I think at first she's gonna be like, oh, my hero, but then I think not be that, because I really hope not, because I was honestly, I've never been a fan of that Amy. I really haven't, and I wasn't really a fan of her in Adventure 2 either, especially because it feels like Adventure she was all like, I'm going to be more independent and more for myself and not like go after Sonic and all this, and I'm gonna do my own thing. And it's like, good for you, Amy. Immediately goes back on that. I think Sonic will have a moment where his speed gets tested, where like it literally is a countdown of something. Maybe he has to rescue someone. Maybe he is running off a prison island, and I think they will fake you out, and the explosion will happen, and you won't see Sonic, and everyone's like, he didn't get out, but then at the last minute he boosts out, right? I can definitely see that happening. Tails is going to have a workshop, just like Adventure 1. Again, I don't think it's going to really watch the Master Emerald. I think, again, it's going to be sort of like Sonic, where it's like he's spending all his time in his workshop building stuff. And Knuckles going to make a comment being like, oh, you know, like Sonic's going off adventuring. Tails is like working on some gizmos or something. I don't know. Like, and I'm stuck here protecting his emerald. They're slacking on their duties. I do think Tails is going to build another tornado, and he's going to have the Chaos Emerald. He's going to power it up with a Chaos Emerald. Oh, you know something I didn't mention with Shadow? They're going to make a fourth damn Chaos Emerald joke. I don't think he's going to say damn, but I think he's going to say something like, finally, the fourth Chaos Emerald. Or he's going to say something like, where's that fourth emerald? He's not going to say damn, but he's going to make, they're definitely going to have that. I'm calling it right now. They're going to have the Shadow the Hedgehog reference. Where's that fourth emerald or something like that? They're going to say something like that. Are they going to say, like, taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me? No, I don't think. I do think there's going to be a moment, again, very similar to Sonic Adventure 1, where, like, maybe Eggman, it's like, let's see how confident you are, Fox, after I do this. And then, like, everyone's like, oh no, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And Tails is like, I gotta figure out how to, like, stop a bomb or something, like Adventure 1. There's gonna be a moment where Tails kind of gets, like, a little heroic moment where he gets to help the people. Really, I've kind of just basically just described Adventure 2. I haven't really talked about, like, what the movie would actually do. But I think they're gonna be fairly faithful. But, you know, they're gonna change some things and, like, censor some things. They're gonna do things a little bit different. Knuckles, I kind of mentioned, he's gonna be the guardian. He's gonna be moaning about Sonic and Tails slacking on their duties, and he's just gonna get he's gonna be the primary dude. He's gonna get into a scuffle with Rouge. The Master Emerald's gonna shatter. Rouge is gonna freak out, and Knuckles is gonna be like, that's fine. I guess I'll go on a treasure hunt, and he'll literally go and collect the Master Emerald. We're gonna see him dig, and we're gonna see him glide at one point. We're definitely gonna see him dig. Potentially, it'd be interesting if they reference the shovel claws. I could totally see that happening. I don't know how. Don't ask me how he's gonna get it, but I can definitely see Knuckles getting the shovel claws. Maybe he even, like I said, maybe he goes back to his village and he's like, if I'm gonna get these emeralds, I'm gonna need some extra help. And he, like, digs up. He's like, he finds shovel claws. Maybe the shovel claws belong to his father or something. And he's like, well, my father's not here anymore, and he takes them. I could definitely see that happening. He's gonna be digging at some point, and he's gonna be definitely gliding. Because I don't remember, like, when he jumped off the plane, it didn't look like he glided. It looked like he just fell. We're gonna definitely see him glide this time properly, and he's definitely going to do some digging. So that would be fun. And he's gonna go on a hunt, saving the Master Emerald, and yeah, he's gonna encounter Rouge again. And yeah, they probably will kind of battle a bit. Knuckles will get a moment. He will learn about the sort of Master Emerald chant, you know, the servers of the Seven Chaos, and He's going to have to use that. The Master Emerald is going to show him, potentially via a flashback, maybe Takara make an appearance. But I think on the flashback, I think the Master Emerald, in some way, is going to show him. Maybe like he'll hear a voice, and that'll tell him. I think that's how it's going to go. I think the Master Emerald somehow is going to communicate that to Knuckles. The Master Emerald is like, now I understand what I'm supposed to do, and this is kind of like him ultimately becoming a full-fledged guardian. Like it's kind of like his guardian arc. That's how I describe it. Like his whole thing in Adventure 2, well, in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, is going to be the whole becoming an actual guardian, because he's not technically a guardian yet, right? But it's setting them up to be. So this would be like his ultimate guardian arc, right? Where he realizes that there's more he can do than just watch the Master Emerald. Like, in case something goes wrong with the Chaos Emeralds or whatever, the Master Emerald is the emerald that can put them in check, you know, shut them down if need be. But Knuckles, you know, he's being the last of its kind, is the only one who can do it. Alright, Eggman. So if I'm going to go with the whole, if Jim Carrey's going to be in the movie, I'll just say that. At the end of the movie, when Super Sonic beats the crap out of him, he just kind of falls, right? And we don't really know what happened to him. And be like, oh, is he dead? I think what's going to happen is that he's going to have one of Sonic's rings on him. And as he falls, he's going to drop it down, and he's going to fall into a ring portal, and it's going to take him somewhere. I think he's going to imagine going somewhere, potentially like maybe somewhere in space. Maybe he's not like fully sure. Like he's just like, you know, if I could go anywhere, it's like, oh, you know, I want to go into the vastness of space. Because I mean, he has like robots in space, right? Literally in the movie, presses a button and like fucking like some sort of satellite shoots out like an egg capsule in space. So I could definitely see him like, maybe he even has a death egg ship, potentially. Maybe he even has a death egg ship, and then he discovers the Ark. But what I think is going to happen is that he's going to imagine going to somewhere in space, right? He's not sure exactly, right? Because he's probably never used these ring portals before. He's kind of guessing and hoping, and I can definitely see Jim being like squinting his eyes. Either I'm going to die, or it's going to take me somewhere. And he's going to wake up in a very dark, abysmal, you know, quiet, big space facility. He's going to discover a light source. It's all going to light up. He looks out what seems to be like a window, and he sees planet Earth, being absolutely confused. It pans out. It's the Ark. The ring thought he meant the Ark, so he sent him to the Ark. And I think he's going to make a reference. He's going to be like, wow, what an incredible space station. It's like, I'll call it the Death Egg. He's going to make a reference to Death Egg. He's going to be like, I'm going to call it the Death Egg. And then it's like, Ark works fine, I suppose. Or, you know, name pending. I'll work on it, right? He's going to learn about his grandfather's files. I could totally see maybe even a clip of like Dr. Gerald to be like, you know, test one of the ultimate life form, and like he's like testing things with Shadow or something, seeing how he reacts to things or whatever. You know, I could definitely see like him discovering stuff, and then he'd be like, wait, it looks like that blue hedgehog. Find out about Shadow, of course, in Trouble on Earth, and he's like, you know, if he's from my grandfather, I need to discover what he's all about. And he's gonna, you know, try and get into contact with Shadow. Shadow's gonna look at him and be like, you remind me of the Doctor. And that's when he reveals that, hey, I'm his grandson and all this and that. And then Shadow's like, alright, maybe we should work together there. Maybe I could trust him. And they obviously work together that way. Potentially Eggman might see Maria in the flashback, or like in like, and like maybe mentions briefly about her. I don't think he's gonna say like, oh, she's my cousin, because that, again, technically I don't think it's been confirmed. But again, we've always said that if Gerald was Robotnik's grandfather, then he would have to be related to Maria in some shape or form, and they're not brother and sister, so they must be cousins. Jim Carrey's gonna play a fat Eggman. That's gonna happen. He even talked about at some point in one of his interviews. He even mentioned about saying he would totally do it. That's gonna happen. It's 100% going to happen. So look forward to that. It's gonna be fun. So the humans are gonna be important because, again, in the second movie, there are parts I didn't mind. Like the wedding scene was okay. Rachel was funny, but I also didn't really need to be there, and it was kind of long. I think since the humans are going to be important, right? Fate of the Earth and all that. Either Tom or Maddie is gonna like discover a Chaos Emerald, and they're gonna keep it with them, not knowing what to do, but feeling like maybe they should give it to Sonic. If things go dire, right? If things go dire, they'll give it to Sonic because they know that they trust Sonic with power. I could definitely see one of them maybe even potentially being connected to 50 years ago, in the sense that maybe like one of their relatives, right, might have remembered what happened, or might have information about it. I think, like I say, they'll make them relevant, and why not give them a little bit of backstory that there actually could be, their like grandparents, one of their grandparents or whatever, could have potentially be connected to the 50-year project. They could even say like maybe one of them was a scientist or something who worked with Gerald. Who knows? I mean, obviously, like, Gunn kind of fits with the humans anyway, so I know, like I said, they're going to be relevant, and they're going to go into more about the Ark. Yes, they're going to be responsible for the Ark being shut down, and they will capture Maria and Gerald. Shadow's going to think they killed Maria, but that's not exactly what's going to happen, because PG and all that, they're not going to do that. The commander is going to blame Shadow for Maria's death. No, I don't think he's going to get a gun and shoot him, but I do think potentially that he might create a mech, or there's going to be like a prototype robot similar to Shadow the Hedgehog, where he's going to like, I'm going to take things over my own hands and like try and stop Shadow himself, and, ultimately does not work. So, hey, let's get into Maria and Gerald, right? So, a lot of people forget that Maria actually has like this illness. I'm not going to get into illness because it's really fucking dumb, so I'm not going to get into it, but he has this illness, and as far as I know, it's literally a she was dying illness, I'm pretty sure. And the whole thing with Gerald is that he is trying to find a way to cure her, and initially he was thinking of doing that through creating the ultimate life form, aka Shadow. I'm not 100% sure what like how that was going to work. I don't know if he was just gonna like create Shadow, and then like Shadow's gonna be able to heal her, or like give him like these like healing genes. I'm not really sure how he was gonna do it, but that was the whole thing. Is that, well, one, he even says he created the ultimate life form to help mankind, but ultimately he wanted to find a cure for his granddaughter. Maria's not gonna get shot because they won't do that. Maria will save Shadow. The gun creep are going to come in and be like, the little girl's helping the creature escape, and they're going to grab her. They're not going to kill her, they're going to grab her, but Maria's going to be like, Shadow, please, like, give the humans a chance, they're not all bad, or but all Shadow's going to be like, no, these humans literally taking her away and dragging her away. They're going to drag her away. Shadow's going to think that she's dead, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with my prediction, but I'll go into my other prediction, but I'm not in a minute, but I'm not going to count that. So what's going to happen is that at some point she's going to die from her disease instead. We're not going to see it, but I think she's going to die from her disease. What's going to happen is Gerald's going to plead the gun crew and be like, don't take my stuff away. I'm so close to curing my granddaughter. You don't understand. I must save my granddaughter. She's severely ill, and they're like, whatever, like, you crazy old man scientist, you're a mad scientist, you're building like weapons and shit, like, we're gonna confiscate all that shit, we're gonna shut everything down. She's going to die. Maybe they might even take her to Earth or something because they realize she's just sick, and she unfortunately dies in a hospital or something like that. She's going to die from her illness. I think that's how they're gonna do it. Gerald, of course, is gonna find out. He's never gonna forgive the humans. His granddaughter died. They're not going to shoot him, but they are going to think he's crazy. You know, they're going to tie him up, be in the jumpsuit. They're just going to leave him to rot. They're just going to leave him to rot. They're not going to shoot him or kill him. They're just going to be like, oh, we're just going to leave him here. They're like, you're never going to escape this prison, and they'll just leave him there. And he's just going to rot. And obviously in his head, he's just stewing and thinking about revenge and what he's going to do and that. And yes, he's putting his plan into motion, when everything aligns, he's going to get his revenge on the humans. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to let him rot, and Maria is going to die from a illness. That's my prediction. Like, look, you heard it here first. Come back. That's what I think they're going to do. I think that's how they're going to sort of PG it, where they're going to die, right? But it's going to be like, oh, he died in prison and Maria died from an illness. I don't think they're going to show her, like, sick, like, in the hospital. They might show her, like, cough when she's alive, like, she's unwell, and Shadow's like, are you alright? And she's like, I'm fine, or whatever. But I don't think they're going to show her, like, in hospital, like, on life support. I don't think so. So here's the other theory. Maria doesn't die at all. And I think it was Video Game Stupid that actually told me. She said, what if they just don't kill her? Right? But this was before I forgot that she's ill. There's a reason why she actually can't go to Earth, because I swear there was some sort of reason why she couldn't go to Earth or something. It was to do with her illness. I don't know. Like, maybe it's something to do with the Earth's atmosphere. I'm not really sure. But she couldn't go to Earth. I guess that's essentially why she was up in space. It was, I don't know. I'd have to go back. It's weird. Sonic Adventure 2 is weird. I like the game, but it's weird. The story, man. I also feel like a remake could really explore the lore with that and everything. But it is what it is. So the other theory, potentially, is that she's alive. Shadow's going to believe that she's been dead, right? And at some point, right, this old lady is going to come out, and she's going to walk out, and everyone like, maybe like her grandkids or whatever, but like, what are you doing, Grandma? And she's like, I need to tell him. And it's all going to be a complete mystery as to who she is. I'm not going to reveal who it is. And like, she's going to come up to Shadow being all about revenge, and he's like, who are you, old lady? Go away. And she's desperately trying to tell her, Shadow, that I'm Maria. And he's going to say something like, you don't understand the pain of loss. I lost someone I cared about, and, she's dead or whatever, Maria. And it's just going to be like, I'm Maria. And Shadow's going to turn around and look at her and be like, what? And she's going to say something that only her and Shadow would remember. And then he's going to look at her and realize that she's alive. That somehow she's alive. I don't know if she got cured or something. Maybe they won't even say that she was ill. Maybe they'll just say they took her away, and took her away and separated her from her grandfather, and they didn't even do the illness. She's just alive, right? Potentially. That could work, I suppose. And then, like, Shadow had the moment where he's like, this entire time I thought the humans had killed her, and the truth is, they never did. At all. And then, like, Maria's, like, telling him kind of like what he told her before. He's like, please, Shadow, we need your help. Like, please help us to, my grandfather created you to do good. I could totally see that happening, but I'm not going to count that. I'm just putting it out there. I think it's the first one I said, not the latter. But hey, you never know. Potentially no 12-year-old girls are going to be dying on screen. This is what I'm actually struggling the most. I actually don't know who the big bad's going to be. It's not going to be Shadow. Again, it's going to be like how where Sonic and Knuckles fought and then 18 Stop Eggman. It's going to be like that. Like Adventure 2, Sonic and Shadow are going to beef it up, go through rounds. They're going to have an iconic race. Part of me thinks they're not going to do the Biolizard. I think maybe somehow they're going to implement Chaos. Maybe Perfect Chaos, potentially. I'm not sure how it's going to work. It's like, part of me thinks it's not going to be the Biolizard. If it is the Biolizard, they're not going to have it attached to the bloody Eclipse Cannon. Metal Sonic, potentially, but I don't think so. What I think is going to happen in regards to Metal Sonic is to go back to Eggman, I think while Eggman's going through information and plans and files of his grandfather, he's going to discover a different prototype, maybe like a beta or something, of an ultimate life form, but it's all mechanical, and it looks like maybe like a mechanical Shadow or a mechanical Sonic, and he's gonna look at it and be like, huh, interesting. And he's gonna steal the plans and be like, I'll save that in case things go wrong, you know, like, you know, it's like, that's an idea. Where he's gonna like take the plans and potentially set up for Metal Sonic in the next movie, which they could do a Sonic Heroes, pull a Sonic Heroes and have like Metal Sonic Overlord, and have like a 12-hour transformation scene. Oh no, 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 no. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if we don't even see a model of Metal Sonic. Maybe there might be a file that just says Project Metal, and then you just see like Jim's looking at it. They don't show us, but you see like Jim's like reading it out and be like, and he's like, I'll steal that. Also, you know, I'll steal those plans, or I'll make a copy of these plans. That could come in useful. It's got to be Chaos or BioLizard. I think it's going to be Chaos. I'm going to say Chaos. I'm going to put it out there, Chaos. I don't think it's going to be the BioLizard. I think it's going to be Chaos. Somehow Chaos is going to be implemented specific, maybe like his own version of Perfect Chaos, which was kind of like the BioLizard anyway. But I don't know. That's what I'm a bit unsure of. But I'm just gonna say Chaos. Put it out there. Not gonna be BioLizard. This one's easy. Video game music. Should have been in the second movie. No, the Green Hill Zone ringtone doesn't count. We're gonna get some proper like potential remixes of some music from Sonic games, and there's gonna be at least one Adventure 2 track. At least one. I would like it to be Live and Learn, especially because we're gonna get Super Shadow and Super Sonic. We are. Look how hyped people were with Super Sonic. Super Shadow's gonna happen. Live and Learn would be incredible. Like a potential Crush 40 remix. It would be amazing. We're going to get more Sonic music. It's not going to be all over the place, but we are going to get more than just a bloody ringtone. That's for sure. It's going to happen. We're going to get at least one or two like areas that are going to be very Sonic-esque. I can totally see them going to like a pyramid because, you know, real world and all that. But it happens in Adventure 2. I'm definitely see them at some point going to like a pyramid, and maybe like Eggman's created a base of operations there like Adventure 2. We're definitely going to get more, at least a couple if not a few more Sonic looking levels. Like I said, we're going to get a reference to Sonic CD when he goes to his world. It's going to be like a level inspired from like by Sonic CD, if that's going to happen. Yeah, again, final battle, Super Shadow and Super Sonic going to be versus something. Probably Chaos, Perfect Chaos. Maybe Perfect Chaos is going to play the role of BioLizard, and like it's going to try to drag the arc down or something somehow. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's it. Hey, nice. And it's just roughly where I want to go. I think that's all I've got. Yeah, because I already kind of mentioned the ending will be the ending will be Shadow being rescued by Eggman, and I do think that he's going to create a Metal Sonic. But that's movie 4, and I can potentially see that going for a instead of like a Sonic CD, more of a, hey, this Metal Sonic's gonna like take the abilities like he does in Heroes, and is, you know, you're gonna get him like Metal Overlord. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching, all that jazz, and at some point this will be uploaded to YouTube, and yeah, let me know your predictions for the Sonic movie 3. I'd love to hear about your theories, because talking about theories are fun. So, you know, maybe I'll do more streams like this in the future about potential theories of, well, maybe not movies, Sonic is an exception, but like video games and such. Because I love talking about stuff like that. So yeah, alright.